Glitch Direct was just released on Glitch Productions' YouTube channel, and they announced a lot for multiple indie series that they are hosting. All the way from Murder Drones, The Amazing Digital Circus, Knights of Guinevere, The Gaslight District, and one more secret one at the very end. Within this video, I'll go over all the announcements and talk about my thoughts. And I'll talk about what I think could happen by going off of what we were shown. I will also talk about the secret announcement at the end. So without further delay, let's start the video. So first of all, we get straight into the Amazing Digital Circus's announcement. This is the clip that was filmed at New York's Comic-Con yesterday, where the main cast go to a beach for the day and get their own set of outfits for the occasion. We get to hear Sun's voice for the first time, and while they sound familiar, I'm not sure who the voice actor is. We see Gangle and Zooble smashing a watermelon with Jax's face on it, and we zoom out while everyone is enjoying themselves. The screen glitches and then a transition plays of Glitch Direct's logo. We are then met with Kevin and Luke, where they greet us and tell us what's going to happen in the next 12-ish minutes of the event. They then tell us the episode release date for episode 7 of the Amazing Digital Circus, which will be December 12th. And not only that, but they gave us a teaser of episode 8. I can't even begin to explain it, so I'll just play the clip now.
You know what?
Yes, Kevin.
That's not enough. We'll also give you a little bit of episode 8 as well. Here's a little clip.
Run it!
I love their sense of humour when it comes to the Digital Circus, and I bet that it was Goose's idea. This is pretty much backed up when we see this happen too.
What do you think about that, Goose?
Hello?
Thank you very much, Goose.
Other than that, we got the release date for episode 8 of the Amazing Digital Circus, which will be the 20th of March 2026. I think that this means that we could be getting the last episode, episode 9, in late summer, hopefully in June or July of 2026. It will be sad to see it gone, but the best things are things that do come to an end. Moving on, we are then greeted with the Knights of Guinevere. This is Glitch's first 2D show, so they knew that they were taking a gamble with this. We then get a message from Dana Terrace, where she thanks everyone for their support on the pilot. They also show off some fan art that they received, and I think this one is my favourite, purely because it reminds me of Gorillaz' Demon Days album. They then advertise some merch and they mention that they are looking at greenlighting the show, meaning that it hasn't actually been greenlit yet. Hopefully with some additional support that this event will bring, they'll be able to make this show for a whole season. Moving on, we are then sent over to Murder Drones. This announcement is going to be especially important as there are a lot of Murder Drones fans out there, and they have been eating nothing since the release of the last episode, which was quite a while ago to say the least. Within this section, they show off a little bit of footage from a music video, before announcement that there is going to be an official music video in collaboration with the Living Tombstone, who made songs like My Ordinary Life and the more popular Five Nights at Freddy's fan songs from way back when. They show the release date of the song, and it's only in a week's time, in the 17th of October 2025. Before leaving the Murder Drones section of the event, they also mentioned that a Murder Drones graphic novel is in the making. However, I think that this is the announcement that people are most expecting. Unfortunately, there is no mention of a season 2 like some were hoping. Next, we are dragged into the world of the Gaslight District, where the show's showrunner Nick Shopko tells us that him and his team are working on the next episodes of the Gaslight District. He tells us a brief description of the next coming episodes. I will let him explain it as I think he says it a lot better than I could.
In one episode, Ken will find himself the victim of a wish from a monkey's paw. In another, Breadhead's trail of crumbs will attract unwanted guests, litter bugs. And finally, Mud will take the reins and bet everything on a horse named Death.
Glitch says that they are going to let the Digital Circus end first before they continue the Gaslight District. I think that this is going to be a double-edged sword, as on one hand that it means that when they do release episodes, they won't have as much competition in terms of views. However, on the other hand, because of the amount of time that people will have to wait for the episodes to release, they could forget about the show or just lose interest. We will just have to wait and see what happens. In the next transition, we can see Glitch's mascot perform a few poses in front of the camera. I recognized a few of these poses. The first one I noticed was a reference to Jolene Cujo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This pose is a reference to Jotaro Kujo, who is also from JoJo's. And finally this pose, which is a reference to Satoru Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. We then finally move on to the last announcement of the event, which is one that has been kept quiet up until now. The announcement happens to be that Glitch Productions is partnering up with Lackadaisy. This is cool as I wanted to see more Lackadaisy content, but I was never sure that a full season would ever be released. Along with this announcement, we get to see a full scene where the Lackadaisy bar is still thriving, and everyone is having a good time. The creator and the director of Lackadaisy then go over the history of the show and why they accepted to work with Glitch. We are then introduced to the development executive Olan Rogers, who worked on the show Final Space. He introduces himself and shows his gratitude for working on a project like Lackadaisy. Glitch Productions then finally announces that they are making something called Glitch Presents, which is made to support already existing shows. compared to Glitch originals like The Amazing Digital Circus, Gaslight District, etc., where they were first made on Glitch Productions' channel. Overall, I really enjoyed this event. Seeing all of those announcements made me really excited for what's to come in the future. We have things as near as the Murder Drones music video coming out next week, to the 8th episode of The Amazing Digital Circus being released in March of 2026. What are you most excited for, and what were you hoping to see that they didn't actually show? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for making it this far into the video. If you enjoyed, then be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. That's all from me. See ya.